Hello.
Hello.
Hey everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Hey Sean. Hey Vu.
Hello.
It's like nighttime in Vu's room, and it's daytime in Sean's room. Nighttime and daytime.
Vu's got the old 8 a.m. nighttime look going.
No lamps available. Yeah, Vu, you're in my time zone. Welcome to the Postman live stream, everyone. My name is Joyce. I'm in developer relations, and I am in San Francisco, but I have a very strong lamp on, so it seems like daylight maybe. Sean, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Sean. I am also in developer relations. I'm a developer advocate here at Postman, and I'm in New York City, and it is starting to get freezing.
Vu, go ahead. Yeah.
Hey, everyone. Vu Nguyen. I'm in San Jose, California, not too far from Joyce. Solutions engineer here at Postman. Excited to be here.
Oh, and we're going to put both of you on the spot today. But before we get to that, I'm actually really excited about today's stream because I did no work for this one, so I'm just going to be spectating and trash talking. And the other one is we have a new tool that most people are not familiar with, so I think we'll be learning about it together. And Sean and Vu are both going to be in the hot seat, but it's going to be kind of a collaborative effort. So if you're familiar with what we're about to go through, or you're just familiar with JavaScript, feel free to help out in the chat. Okay, but before we get there, we're going to start with in case you missed it. And I did no work for this stream. So Sean, do you mind taking us through what we might have missed?
Yeah, for sure. So the first thing I'll show off here, so in case you missed it, right, these are kind of announcements that have come in the past week since our last live stream. First one I want to highlight is this awesome blog post from our very own Joyce, who you see on the stream here. And it's just better practices for Git version control. If you're not familiar with Git, it's the most broadly used version control system. And, I've talked to a lot of people that I think have not really known you could do this in Postman or with Postman. And so this blog post is really helpful. It was good for me to kind of just go through. It just came out yesterday, so I didn't have a ton of time to read through it all. But I think it's going to be super helpful for just kind of familiarizing yourself with some of the workflows using Git and Postman.
Do you guys use Git in your everyday workflows?
I wouldn't say for me every day. I'd say probably maybe once a week I'm doing something. So just enough that it's like I have to remember how to do everything every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I don't use it too much, but I use it enough to play around with it.
If you're a developer or you work on a collaborative code base, I think it's probably going to be like daily. It's like almost a must. You have to know your Git workflows.
Yeah. Joyce, I think dropped this in the chat. So if this is interesting to you, check it out there. And the other announcement is a pretty meaty one. I think every year, I don't know how many years we've been doing it. Joyce, you might have a better idea, but we have the 2021 State of the API report. And this is, I think, one of my favorite things that we do here at Postman is putting out this really comprehensive survey and getting information or answers from, you can see here, 28,000 developers. Sorry about that. And it just covers all sorts of things about how people are using APIs, how often they're using APIs, what they're using them for. And it's just a really in-depth, detailed look at some of things going on in the API world. And there's a ton here. I think the key findings are kind of some of the interesting takeaways that we've highlighted. And I'm so zoomed in, so it's like kind of funky as I scroll. But yeah, I think this takeaway here: developers are spending more time with APIs was one of the things that I took away from it. That APIs are just becoming more and more common and more ubiquitous in the development space.
Yeah, I think we've been doing this state of the API for 3 or 4 years now, so you can even see some of the trends over time. And on that left side, it's like you see the API technologies, the tooling. And so, like, some people will read through this entire survey, and this gets a lot of press coverage too. But say you're like a tech writer or something, and you're like, okay, I want to dig straight in, like drill down into documentation or something like that. You can drill down into your area of interest, but then the team did a really good job with the key findings. As Sean said, it's like they they did the TLDR for you at the top. So this is a big one.
Yeah, right. Like we could do a whole live stream just kind of digging in and diving into some of the things here, but highly recommend going through on your own if you want at the end, right? Like I actually plan on downloading this report. I have a long flight coming up, so I'll probably take a look at this on that flight.
You're going to print it out on paper and thumb through
it? Yeah. I don't even know if I have like a stapler, if I could even like staple.
I don't have a printer.
Yeah, I do have a printer, and I feel like I get asked once a month to print something from random people that know I have a printer. And then the last thing I'll highlight, kind of a bit of a humble brag here. Postman was chosen as a 2021, I think the exact phrase, but like best place to work. And so it was a list of 100 companies. And I think Joyce can drop the link. But yeah, so Newsweek puts together this list every year, and Postman was on this year's list. And that's something I'm super excited to be a part of. I think it speaks to, kind of the things that we're doing here and the, folks that we have leading the team and the things that we're about. So just something I'm pretty excited about, and certainly recommend, check it out. And if you haven't thought about working at Postman already, we do have plenty of open positions available. Here's our careers page. Maybe we'll talk about this later.
Yeah, I just dropped the link to that in the chat too, because come work with me, Sean, and Vu. The team has like always been growing, but last year is like, hoo-wee. Lots of new positions posted.
Yeah, I've been here just about a year. My 1 year anniversary is coming up next week. So Joyce, take note.
Happy anniversary. I'll get you
party.
A gift. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just kind of wild how many new faces there are just in the last year alone.
Okay, well, thanks for covering in case you missed it and doing that part, Sean. Lots of, you can see the links here. A lot of stuff coming out. The Git is a lot of the stuff in Git isn't super new. Actually, the Git integration is a slightly new integration, but there's a lot of humble brags and a lot of industry best practices here. Okay. Vu, are you worried? Are you worried about this this head-to-head competition?
Nah, I think I can beat Sean. I got it.
Oh, Sean is very, very good. Okay, do we want to get started, or what are we doing? Who's doing this? Who's running this thing?
I think we thought you.
Oh. Okay, so some people that watch this stream regularly know that we have a blindfold challenge where we kind of spring a random API on people and they have to figure it out. And I think Savannah, wow, confidence. Yeah, I think Sean's going to do really great at this. Vu, I think you're going to do really great at it too, but it's going to be a collaborative effort. I have picked an API, a surprise API, and Sean doesn't know what it is, but I did give Vu a heads up because Flows is a brand new, the no code, low code part that we're going to go to is brand new, and it's been changing on, I wouldn't say daily, but on the weekly basis. The tool itself has been changing. It's under beta. The engineering team is actively collecting feedback. And so just to make sure Vu was able to get through the tool and understand it. And the other thing is there's no documentation. So good luck, Vu. We'll help you. Don't worry. Okay, Sean, are you ready for the blindfold part? Sean is the only one blindfolded here. I have a special API that I've been keeping in my pocket for a special moment. But I think I think we're ready. Oh, no, no, no.
I'm ready. I appreciate the confidence from from the people in the chat. Ruby.gif. I understand being on Team Vu to start. It's a new, exciting, way of doing things in Postman. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
So it's Sean versus the world because I get everyone's help.
It does feel like that, yeah.
Well, so something else that's interesting is a lot of people, maybe we could talk about this after we play with the tools, but a lot of people think about low code, no code versus code based approaches. And I think for a lot of developers, at least, no code tools supplement the code that they write. It's not like, oh, I never want to write code again, but it's like there are certain things that I can do faster and easier with a tool. So why not just use that tool? I don't know. That's not a provocative thought starter, but think about that as you're going through, like, what would you do? Sean, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, okay. I'm going to tell you what it is. Actually, should I bring your screen on first?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to bring your screen on. And I think because just for saving space, I'm going to take the chat off the screen, but I will be keeping an eye on that. Vu and I will be keeping an eye on that. And if you have questions or help for Sean, but Sean is very good at what he does, don't worry. Sean, you ready?
Now I almost feel more pressure to be really good than I do to stink.
Okay. Everyone, lower your expectations. Sean,
Yeah.
not so good at what he does.
Exactly. Yeah, I want to surpass expectations.
Okay, so lower your expectations. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. SpaceTraders.
SpaceTraders. Okay. Initial thoughts. Cool name. Feels on brand with something that Postman would want to explore. Truly have no idea what it is. I would guess just from the name something with trading stocks. But then my initial thoughts after that are, I don't know. We've done a lot of stuff with stocks. So yeah, let's see. So I hear SpaceTraders, and I know Joyce wants me to do something with SpaceTraders.
Sean thinks it's Wall Street in space. Wolf on Wall Street.
Yeah, aliens trading securities. But yeah, so I think there are a few things I could do. I could check and see if this exists in Postman. And so that's kind of where I'll start. I could also just search Google and see what comes up for SpaceTraders, but I'm going to stay in Postman for as long as I can here and just see if anything pops up under SpaceTraders. Okay, so I've entered this into our search. I'm searching all of Postman. So this means, everything that's public. I'm searching stuff for my own team. And this is actually the team I'm on, is this Postman DevRel team right now. And this little icon here shows me that this is a workspace for the SpaceTraders API. And this globe icon tells me that it's a public workspace. So I'm going to go ahead and check this out just to see what we've got going on. And let's take a look. Ooh, okay. It's a game built on REST endpoints. Well, all right, my curiosity is fully piqued here. I love a good game, so I don't know still what this is. First thing I see is a run in Postman button, which I think is awesome. I think that's a great practice in a public workspace. Right, if I want to actually go ahead and get started, I can just click this button and that will fork the collection into a workspace for me. But I still have no idea what I'm doing. So before clicking this button, I'm going to just try to read a bit more here.
So Wall Street.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a unique multiplayer game built on a free web API. Sweet. The game is available as free RESTful endpoints. Start building from scratch using your programming language of choice, or use a community-built SDK to get a jump start. So
yeah, so if anybody has experience with this particular API, I think frequently it's used for learning. And so like you build clients. If you're practicing building front end, you can build a client off of this API. I heard about this API from Jonathan Conrath, the head of docs here at Postman. And like if you're learning React, you're learning Vue, or like you're learning mobile apps or something like that, you can use this API and then build a front end around it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So I see here, right on the workspace, excuse me, workspace overview page, we have information on their webpage, their documentation, and a few other links here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to their webpage and just see what this does. Just see what's out there. Okay, so SpaceTraders API, just a little more information about this being a game, best sandbox platform to learn a new skill. Okay, how do I play a game? Seems like the same ideas you had in the workspace description. Right, you just kind of just hitting these RESTful endpoints. The best API to support your learning. Oh yeah, okay. My purchase, so you're buying metals. Okay.
Do you guys play games?
I do. I love all sorts of games. Board games,
Vu?
video games, silly made-up games.
I used to play a lot of StarCraft when I was younger, so you had to buy minerals or mine minerals and then sell them for spaceships or so, or build spaceships.
Oh, is this
Close
like
enough.
StarCraft? Kind of?
Kind of, except where you have the money and you get JSON responses. So
Except the API part, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Let's see if we can go ahead and buy some metals. That seems exciting to me. So I'm looking at this get started information. This is kind of the benefit of a well fleshed out documentation or overview page in the public workspace, right? This seems very easy. I just have to do 3 steps. I fork this collection. I'm going to have to go ahead and get an access token, but it looks like that's something I can do programmatically since it says execute the post, generate an access token call. And then I just start playing in 5 minutes. That sounds easy enough. So set the timer, Joyce. 5 minutes. I'm going to be
My
buying metals.
expectations are low.
Okay, perfect. Nick's question's got a funny comment. Vu can't game anymore because he rages.
This is interesting because I have played StarCraft before, but I struggled with understanding the rules of this game, even though it's probably very simple because I don't play a lot of games. But if anybody has played StarCraft, then just have that in your mind. You're trying to mine minerals like metals, I guess, and then Wolf of Wall Street them.
All right, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to click this Written Postman button. And what this is doing is, like it says here, is allowing me to fork this collection into a workspace. And it has a bit more information. I can view it in the public workspace. But I want to go ahead and fork it. I want to get started with this thing.
Your clock is ticking.
I know. I'm also trying to explain what I'm doing.
Okay, fine.
So maybe 6 minutes. Cool. So now I'm just picking where I want it to go. This can be my fork label. I created a workspace before for this exact purpose. I think I called it live stream workspace. So I saved myself 20 seconds there. So I've got some time back by already creating a workspace.
Efficient.
Cool. All right, awesome. So, all right, now I'm in my own workspace and it looks like the collection here. I'm going to pull the documentation up by clicking this documentation button. And I'm just going to view the complete documentation so I can see it better. So yeah, here's our get it started steps. I've already forked the collection. I'm looking at the documentation in my own workspace. Now I need to generate an access token. All right, so I'm going to update the username path variable with my preferred username and hit send to execute the post generate an access. All right, let's do that. So I need to generate an access token. So I found this request here. So in my collection, this is that request. Now I can change my username. Let's say the Metal Guru. I like that. I'm curious. So there's already tests here. I'm curious what they are. I'm imagining it's going to just kind of set an environment variable or set some sort of collection variable for this token that I'm supposed to be getting. Let's see. Perfect. So result, these are, okay. So yeah, let's click send and see what happens. All right, this is great.
201. So easy.
Well, it's also, a very good sending of the request by me. I was trying to give myself credit, but yeah, it was really easy, and that was
You
horrible.
pushed that button so good.
Cool. Yeah, so I have this sweet name.
Can you scroll up or pull that up so we can see it? It's behind our heads.
Oh, yeah. Metal Guru. So I have my username. I got this token. I don't know if we're supposed to show it, but here's my token. Cool. So I'm going to go back to the documentation and see how I can start doing stuff. All right, so now I have this token. It should, in theory, be saved as a collection variable. Let's double check. Awesome. Got my name. All right. Follow the sequence of API calls described here. So let's check this out. All right. Getting started. Thanks for checking out SpaceTraders.
Can you zoom in one more?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So we can try it out in 5 minutes. How to play guide. Sweet. So I'm not looking to install HTTP/PI or HTTP. That's hard to say. HTTP/PI. I kept saying an extra P in there. Okay, so now, yeah, I already have this collection. So let's see. I've already generated an access token, so I'm ahead of the game here. Let's view my account. I'm curious if I have any ships or structure counts. So I should be able to just hit this get info on my account. Get status. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Oh, so I think this is status for the game. Yep, okay. View my user account. If I hover over this token, because we have it saved as a collection variable, this should be good to go. I'm going to click send. Oh, okay. Metal Guru, no ships, no structures, as expected.
It's realistic.
Yeah, right. I just started. I shouldn't have anything yet. I probably don't have any loans. So I can view. Oh, here we go. I want to take out a loan. Okay, nice. So I'm going to send a post request. I'm going to go back to the collection because I imagine the names of the requests are going to be pretty helpful too. So I'm going to take out a loan. Actually, let's view them first and see if there's any. If this gives me any information on loans I should take out. Oh, okay. So I'm getting into it. I'm like already thinking about taking out loans, buying ships.
Wait, did StarCraft have like microfinance? Did they have a banking component?
I don't know. Vu, was there like microtransactions or stuff you could do with real money? Or
not with real money. There's minerals and building and mining and kind of like Bitcoin meets StarCraft, where you just mine and just build until you run out of resources.
If I remember StarCraft correctly, you physically or manually, I mean, not you, but your computer manually had to find the minerals. But in the real world, most people are not gathering their own raw materials. I would say this is more realistic. You're purchasing and earning and making those profitable trades.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just start taking out loans and doing stuff. So Joyce, tell me when we're ready to swap and have Vu try to mimic what I've done. But for now, I'm just going to keep going until you tell me to stop.
Maybe, because I read it and I went through it, but I don't entirely understand the rules. So maybe just go a little bit deeper into like where you need to be.
What do you mean
like
where I need to be?
Progress in the game.
Okay. Yeah, so my understanding right now is that I have zero money, so I can't do anything. And based on these request names, right? Like I don't think I can purchase anything. Flight plans. I think the first thing I need to do is like get money, and it seems like the only way to do that is by taking out a loan. Right. So then once I have money, I imagine I'll be able to purchase a ship, and then once I have a ship, I think I can like find a nearby planet and then go there and then sell different things. That's kind of my guess.
And you have things to sell already?
No,
you have the loan. I
Yeah,
see.
well, I don't even have that yet. 'Cause here's what I have. I have no ships. I have no structures. I have no credits. I am just a metal guru with nothing.
Okay.
So I got to get some resources.
Got
That's
it.
going to be
Okay.
my.
I think this is I think you're right, Sean. This is probably a good time to throw it over to Vu. And Sean, I know you could keep building and keep going in the game, but I'm going to ask you to pause and we're going to go all eyes on Vu. If you wouldn't mind. So, Vu, are you ready? Do you think that you can recreate the steps that Sean's taken so far?
I think so.
Okay,
I
I'm
was good
going
at
to
StarCraft, so yeah.
It's just like StarCraft. So I'm taking Sean's desktop off. I'm gonna replace it with Vu's, and you are in a separate workspace.
Yeah. So I did go ahead and fork the workspace or the collection over. Um,
Which
so
collection did you fork? The public one?
I yeah, the space traders.
Okay.
Okay. So I will go ahead and start the flow. But let me expand this real quick. Okay, so I'm seeing what Sean had. No environments. Okay. So let's create a flow. Let me
I'm so
expand
nervous.
this.
What's gonna happen?
Oh man, okay. Start event and
So
then
can I ask actually a quick question before we jump into this?
yeah.
So I actually know very little about flows, and I work at Postman. So all I really know, right, is that it's this kind of like no code, low code alternative to building a workflow, for lack of a better phrase. Um, if you had to give kind of like a high level overview of what flows is and the goals of it, I think that might help kind of frame what we're doing here.
Yeah, so flows is the, as you mentioned, the low code, no code approach to making API calls and chaining requests. So the idea is so you can use reusable requests and test scripts and makes it more composable so that folks don't have to know JavaScript to start making these tests. They can start navigating and just clicking things. So idea is that if you're not a developer or you're, let's say, a business analyst or someone who's just new to APIs, it makes it easier to start testing APIs and chaining these requests versus these one-off endpoints.
Cool. That's a super helpful summary, Vu. Thank you.
Also, it's visually appealing versus looking at just JavaScript. So I
I
get to
love
click
JavaScript.
around.
I love the way JavaScript looks. But how did you get here, Vu? How did you get to this
Uh,
screen?
so I minimized that to make it easier. I'm on the web version. I don't know if the desktop has it yet, but all the way at the bottom on the left side under flows. Oh, I should name this flow. Space Trader. And let me minimize it. Okay. So what happens when I click start? Nothing, because I have nothing. Okay. So step one from Sean's side was
Yeah, the screen does
uh
look a little blurry to me. Can everyone else see Vu's screen okay at home? Because if not, the other part of this is we're going to have Sean do this. LOL, just kidding, just kidding.
Oh gosh.
Sean was just like, what is
I literally just
flows?
said I don't know what flows is.
Who,
Yeah.
who is this flows? Let us know if you can see Vu's screen and we'll keep going. So you're doing great, Vu.
okay. So step one, ooh, blurry. Okay. How about 175%? How does that look?
I think the resolution is a little uh oh, we can't see the start and block button because it's behind our heads. Probably, right?
Oh, okay. Good point. Yeah.
I think we're fine to leave that out unless you're adding a new block.
Yeah.
And if so, I'll push our faces to the side. Do you want me to do that, Vu?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me
Behind the
minimize.
head. Here, how about this? Try this.
Okay. Yes. Let me zoom back in. Okay. And you see the giant mouse?
It's the perfect size mouse, yes.
Okay. Okay, so step one, so send request. There's a lot of options. I will start off with sending a request. Sean, what was the first request again? Was it generate access token?
Yep, I think that's what I had to do. I think everything else kind of hinges on making sure you have an access token.
Okay, and I will start. And well, actually, I need to zoom out one because I cannot see some buttons. Okay, so actually, it doesn't do anything on the flow side because I didn't have a response for it. And correct. And when I mentioned that we don't flows is a no-code low-code approach. So I think there were some test scripts on this request. So from what I understand, flows will not read off these test scripts here. Flows will act as its own and start running these calls as I started. Okay,
So in that drop down for send request, what all is available there? Where are you pulling from?
so this drop. Oh, so it looks like I can specify the collection and all the endpoints from it.
Just in this workspace?
Just in this workspace.
Okay.
And if I have multiple collections, I can reference those collections as well.
Oh, so you could theoretically make a flow between collections then, huh?
Yeah, I think that was a limitation of the collection runner and the PM set next request. So flows allows you to reference multiple collections. So that's really exciting for our developers.
Yes, agreed. I think that's going to be huge. A lot of times people have like different APIs, but they API reference, but they want to kind of chain a workflow between different APIs. I think this is going to be huge. Agreed, JW Banning.
Yeah.
Okay, so on my right side, I have response and test. Okay, look, I can add more blocks. Okay, so from what Sean did, he generated a token and then he assigned or created a variable. What is the difference? I think when I'm zoomed out, it highlights the info, but I think it should be a signed variable. Let's see what happens. Okay, I can create a variable or multiple. Ooh, okay. So I'm under the configuration, basic. Oh, cool. Shows the output or the nested responses. So let's say, what if I would choose this? Actually, let me run it first to see what happens. Start. Oh, no output.
I like the way it visualizes like which stage it is on. That's cool.
Okay, so let me.
We did have a question from Anthony. Do you know when this will be available on the desktop version? And if I'm not mistaken, this is already on the desktop version. So if you want to follow along, I think there right now Flows is available in personal and team workspaces. So Vu, you're in a team workspace right now, right?
I'm on a private workspace actually, which is
private.
Which is nearly the same as a team minus the visibility.
Yeah. And then Anthony's also saying this feature seems interesting for non-dev people, and I think that's true. That's what Vu was commenting on. But I actually think this is going to be interesting for devs too.
For sure.
And Vu, I was looking somewhere else, but you use create variable, or you use assign variable.
Yeah. So when you have when you set a new block, you can assign variable or create variable. Since I saw that Sean had two variables, username and token, I chose the assign variables.
Oh.
So one thing I'm curious about, Vu, and I don't want to like add too many layers to start, but so that first request is a post request to generate an access token, and I sent in as part of I believe it was my path variable the username that I wanted, So I don't know if that's something that you would have to do to get like a successful request. Or I think it actually has, it might already have a default one in there. So you might not need to specify, but just something to think
Yeah,
about.
yeah, that's a good point. So something to call out within flows is that you have the whole idea is to set the terminal response or the output. So what I did here was create a response and selected terminal, and I named it access token. So that when I click start, oops, let me close this. You saw those little ball following these lines.
The food
It
going through the digestion system, yes.
Yes. Okay, I got a response. Oh, the username has been claimed. Oh, that's what I missed on the first step. So under step 1, it was params Lucifer. I'll call this,
Oh, you
let's
know what
call
that
it,
means? That means somebody forked the collection and hit send
And
before
used
Vu
it.
did.
so I'll call myself a Hydralisk. Props
What's
if you know
that?
what that means. It's a StarCraft
Oh,
character.
okay.
So going back to flows, let me minimize this. Okay, so username has been claimed. I just updated this request and I saved it. Let me try this again. Okay, created. Yay, 201, just like what Sean had.
Nice.
Yay.
Hydralist, yay. So again, what I did was I start off with the start button. I added a block for the send request. And then from this block, I added the terminal response. And I also chained this assign variable request, which I didn't do yet.
Yeah, and I think that's important. We've had a couple streams using Node-RED, which is another drag and drop uh, low code, no code tool. And you need to add those terminals because normally in the Postman regular part of the interface, you're sending requests and you can inspect the response right away. But in this case, you need to tell this flow, hey, I want to see it at this point. So then you can see the network calls, you can see any logs that you're creating. And so you can add as many terminals as you want. And this one's called what? Access token?
Yeah, and because I'm zoomed in, it doesn't show the full text, but it goes from default to access token. Okay, and earlier I was stuck on creating a variables because I couldn't see the full output under the configuration. Now I can because I had made the call. So earlier it was pretty basic, but now it shows the full objects responses. So now it lists all the nested variables. So what was the one that Sean was using? Was it username? There you go. So I think he set the variable as username and create variable. Okay. And Sean, what was the second one you had? Was it
The token.
Okay. Yes, token. Again, this drop-down list wasn't available until I added the output at the top and called it. I ran it, and then I was able to show the whole nested responses. Okay. So now let me X this out. So it shows that I had assigned a variable for a username and token. Let's run.
Oh, is it going to give you an error because you tried to create a new Hydralisk? Oh no.
Yes, I did. So I had a conflict. Okay. So what I need to do is nest it some more. So I will go to now to see the output of the assigned variables. Let's see, I'll go create another terminal. I think I'm gonna have multiple terminals. So let's say assigned to variables. Oops.
But what Sean, I'm curious. When you hit start, you always start at the beginning of the flow, right? So you're always going to hit post and create a new user, which you're going to
Yeah.
face that error. So is there a way to just, like in equivalent of Sean, like Sean can decide where he starts? Well, he can deselect a request to run in collection runner. Is there the ability to just like have a loose block that's not connected? And then have a start button, start that block. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's see. I can move this around. I can even delete it.
Well, can you like detach it and then connect the start to the assigned variable? Or I guess.
I Good question. Not yet, I think. I don't know if it's because I'm zoomed in, but I cannot disconnect it right now.
Well, try deleting it. I'm curious what'll happen. Oh wait, yeah. What's that? There's so many options on this thing. What's
Ooh,
that?
yeah, toggle it on or off.
I think because it's at the beginning of the chain request, I can't toggle it on off versus, or maybe because I'm zoomed in. Let's delete it, see what happens.
Okay. Okay. Now you got to
Uh,
connect the noodle.
is that undo button? Nope, no undo button yet. Okay,
Well,
so
you don't need it,
okay, so
right?
now I will, yes, I don't need it, but I will start from,
So I guess did we ever actually assign the token? Is my question, because I think we
Oh yeah.
added that block after we like ran that request the first time.
yeah. So let me connect these. Okay, cool.
Oh, you connected it in reverse and it still works.
Yes, but I
Connect it to the
cannot.
dot. The dot. You need to aim for the dot. The dot on the left.
Okay,
Yes.
finally. Again.
Backseat driving.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, finally. So let me see what happens. Actually, since I'm gonna hit the error, let me use a random variable here, or
I
a
was gonna say,
faker.
yeah, maybe.
Ooh, so smart.
Uh, uh-oh, why is it not? Does
Keep
a
going.
faker
Yeah, yeah.
what is it, random first name? Is that
I don't know the syntax, but close it out.
oh,
Or-
say, oh, there it is. Okay, so random first name. So, oh wait, it's red. That means it's unresolved.
Which means it only generates at the time that you send it. So this syntax, if you've never seen it before, that curly braces with that $sign in front is using Faker.js to generate it, but it only exists at the time of running.
I think I have my caps. Okay,
Oh,
finally,
it
yeah.
works. It works. It was just the wrong
Yes,
syntax.
yeah. Check your capitalization. So it's in a camel case. Okay, so double curly, dollar, random, uppercase first, and uppercase name. Okay.
Hey, Vu, I'm wondering if we could have like, can you have like a kind of conditional logic in your flow, and the first block almost be like an if then, and like if we have a username and token already set, then kind of jump ahead. I don't know how like challenging that is, or if it's possible.
Yeah, I believe you can using the tests. One of
In
these buttons.
in regular collections, you can't do that. The first request has to run. Even if you have it on the pre-request, it'll still run. It'll set the next request in regular collections at least.
Okay.
Okay, so I just ran this with a random first name. For the access token terminal, it gave me. Oh no, that's the old one. I should Yvette. Okay, let's jump to the assigned variable. Okay, so the two variables were assigned Yvette and token.
Nice. JW Banning is suggesting to look at the validate block.
Validate. Okay. Okay, validate. Yes.
Can you hover on that text that it had? The tooltip when you added it?
Valid. Oh, there it is. Conditional pass data to the next block.
Ooh.
Conditionally, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
So no output. So let me add it to, you said the first block?
Yeah, well, I was just thinking if there was a way to, um, like skip that first request if we already had a username and token, because like if we're gonna want to, for me the next step was to like take out a loan, and like if you're thinking about it in terms of a game, if you like create, like you'll never get past that first step of like creating a new character, then taking out a loan, and like you'll never really do anything except create a new person and have that person take out a loan.
So the way you would do that in a collection, and maybe we should go back there and explore the collection, is that you would start at the beginning by creating a new user, and then you would get down and you would take out a loan, and then at a certain time you would conditionally validate and then loop it back. But instead of looping back to the start of the collection, you would loop back to another point. So I wonder, Vu, if you want to validate at a certain point in the flow and then loop it back, not to the create a new user, but to create like taking out a loan or getting medals. Just don't loop it back to the where the start is.
Okay, so let me delete this and add a new validate. So where should I add the validate block then?
Have you already
let's-
taken out a loan?
No. So let me add
What if
that
we
request.
did? Yeah, I was going to say. So now that we like have these two variables set, like I think for the next, like we can do it again and like just have like a new random first name, and then like once we do this taking out a loan, then we can start like, we'll probably just create a few new accounts, but after we like get the flow down, then we can probably start setting up a flow where Joyce is talking about where we like loop back to a certain point.
Vu's already ahead of you, Sean.
Well, I was told when to stop. I was just getting into it. I was about to take out loans, buy medals.
Okay, I think I see how this works now. What I did was after that assigned access token, I added a new request for view user account. I added a terminal for a view user account. So now when I call it, it shows the output. So my name's Spencer now.
Shape shifting.
200, yes.
But you're losing all your money every time. So we
You never
should
had
set
any
up
money.
well, good point.
Yeah.
And
But
then
yeah, I think what you're saying though, Joyce, like, yeah, if we like keep doing this, like we'll never actually have any. Yeah.
I'll just keep mining some more Bitcoin.
Oh, Ruby.gif is the most fickle creature. Team Vu, Team Spencer, Team Yvette, everyone who comes along.
Team bandwagon. Okay, so view available loans. Let me see what happens when I...
Hey, Ulysses just asked what API we're using. I'll go ahead and post the link to the public workspace. It's SpaceTraders. It's like Wolf of Wall Street meets StarCraft.
Okay, what happened? I got an error. Token was invalid or missing from the request. Did you confirm sending the token as a param authorization header? Ooh. So view available loans.
That's a helpful error message, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like I did not have a token here. No test scripts. So it looks like when I'm calling the view available loans, it did not reference that token I had generated. What happened? Oh man, I think Sean's gonna win now. I can't take out a loan. Darn my bad credit.
Oh, Vu
Okay.
does have a finance background. I forgot.
So, So let's say when I open up this request, I can show the token, but why can I not show it in the outputs?
Were you using the token in an earlier request?
So on the first request, I had generated the access token. Then I assigned a variable. Then I viewed the account. Then now
I'm
Huh.
so behind. You were able to view the account correctly?
Yeah. So I made that view available loans,
Okay.
but I cannot get a token. I'm getting the status code 401. Token was invalid or missing from the request. Did you confirm sending the token as a query or? So it's not referencing this variable in this token.
Can we check the terminal for the other requests in this one just to see like that we actually did assign?
Yes. So the view user account one before it had a 200 response. So 200. But then the new output for view available loans did not.
And
401.
Ruby.gif's asking if the token needs to be reassigned between requests. Does the token persist because it's drawing from the same collection?
Good point. So what if both requests has the same param? What if I were to just delete that previous one and put it as, so I'll delete the view available loans. Sorry, I'll delete the view user account and just do view available loans. Let's see what happens. Okay, and start. Oh yes, 200. Okay, so it looks like.
Is that the right terminal?
So let's see what the oh, actually let me clear it. I think there's too much history and call it again. Okay, 200. And yep, startup.
Nice. Okay.
Cool, I just got 200K.
So we
Let's go
have a
buy some Bitcoin.
question from Asadat. Is the variable saved on the environment or is it just used in the flow? And in this case, we're using a collection variable. So we should be able to access the variable throughout the collection run. But Ruby.gif suggested, does the token ever need to be reassigned between requests? Are you able to assign a variable at a certain point in time, and so long as the request happens after that, do you have access to that variable?
Yeah, so I think it looks like I wasn't. And I
Wasn't
don't know.
what?
It looks like I didn't have access to that variable when I had that call for view available loans, because I put it at view user accounts. When I removed view user accounts, it started to show.
Got it. So will we be able to go beyond one request? Because ideally we want to build a multi-step flow. And JW Banning is following along on that thread. What is the variable scope? So in the collection, that code set it at the collection level, but what are you setting here in flows?
I'm also using the collection, but I think ideally I should be using the environment, if anything, to prevent having to do having to set the variables each time, I think.
Okay,
Because
so go to assign variables and validate where the scope that you're assigning.
So assign variables, and you said validate?
No, sorry, I used the word validate. Under the assign variables block, what scope are you setting this at? Is it a...
So you're asking if it's setting as a collection scope, a variable in the collection or environment?
Or is there a new scope called like flow scope?
I don't see it. but based on what I've seen, it's under the collection scope.
Okay. Do you think if we updated, you're saying the scripts in the collection don't translate over to flows, correct?
That's my understanding of it so far.
So if we updated it to pm.environment .set, it wouldn't set a different type of scope?
So like,
Oh, here's
should
some insight. JW Banning says, it seems to me that flows doesn't care about collections. Flows makes collections irrelevant. And that's probably true because if we're setting requests between collections, then what is a collection variable, right?
yeah, that's a good point. So should I go ahead and update this to environment variable?
Well, it's a hypothesis. We don't know right now if we update this, if it'll update the flows, right?
Yeah.
So let's try
Is
it.
there a way when we're like setting the variables in flows? Is there a way to like? I'd be curious to see that block again and see if there's a way to like specify how or where, what scope we want to set the variable.
That's a good hypothesis too.
Okay, I just call it meta because everyone keeps typing that.
JW Banning works at Facebook. Ruby.gif too. Just jokes. They just rebranded in case that joke went over your head.
So can you refresh me? Is it pm.environment variables?
You could actually delete that whole segment. Collection variables, highlight collection variables and delete it.
Highlight both collection variables?
I mean, sorry, highlight the text collection variables in camel case and then type
yes.
the letter E.
E. Oh, yes.
Yep.
Less typing for me. Is it environment or environment variables?
Nope, that's good.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Postman, for autocomplete.
Yeah, autocomplete's clutch.
Oh, I didn't specify my meta environment. Okay, and let's see. Okay, cool. Core. Okay, so now back onto flows. Let's call this again. And yeah, it looks like flows does read off that environment variable. Oh, okay. So sorry, I have a lot of messy blocks. Under view user account or view user account, I'm able to get the responses. Yeah,
Excellent problem solving. So the way we got around, like, how do we set, like, what variable scope are we setting? We just said, let's just set an environment scope. And you can see here in the top right that Postman's just reading in from the actively selected environment. We do have a question from Deva Sundaram. Is it possible to download flows alone and import it in Postman? So flows is in beta right now. In fact, you can see a feedback button in the top right of Vu's screen. Engineers are actively working on it right now. You can't export a flow. That's kind of a meaty thing for engineers to do because you can export a collection, you can export a collection run, but how do you export stuff that happens between collections? So that's not, as far as I know, that's not out yet. And Asadat is asking, here you are saving the variable from your test, but what is the scope of a variable created in the flow? Asadat really putting it to us. If you created variable or assigned variable, I guess create variable in the flows block, what would the scope be? And Sean had the question, can we look at that modal one more time to see those options?
So look at the blocks, or what was it? Or was it?
Yeah, I would say if you were to just act as though you were creating a new assigned variables block, like what that looks like.
Oh, yes. Okay, so
we don't actually
block.
have to like do it. I'm just curious. Yeah, I want to go through this again now that we've seen it a bit more.
Ooh, I stuck my mouse. Okay. Create variables. So earlier, what a small error, not error, I had was this didn't populate, but because I changed it to the start, and I also specify the endpoint, assigned variables, it looks like nothing will show unless you have that request before that, because you get the basic object and timestamp. So let me delete this one, and I'll just add a new one as an assigned variable here, all the way at the bottom. So because now when I change to that request, I'm able to get the full nested options. Did that make sense?
Yeah, I'm just I'm just trying to see if there's, I guess, trying to figure out the difference between like something being set as an environment variable, or if there's like a way to do like a global. I just don't know.
I don't see anything related to what scope it would be at either.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a special flows scope, right? It only exists during the flow
Right.
run. But we saw that, I think, if I followed correctly, Vu wasn't able to access in a variable that was created earlier, although that was from a script and it was collection level, so I don't know if that's the reason why. Okay, just in the interest of time, Vu's already gone much beyond what Sean has done. Let's go back over to Sean's screen if we're okay with that, and then let's do a speed round. I mean, Sean was lower your expectations, but Sean is pretty good at what he does. So we're gonna have him go through a speed round, try to get as far in the game as possible, and then Vu, we're just gonna ask you to do a speed round as well to replicate what Sean does. So let's pay attention. If it's okay, I'm gonna take Vu's screen off, and I'm gonna add Sean's. Sean put solitaire away. Thank you. We're gonna go and speed round. Sean, have at it.
Cool. All right. I wanna get some money, get some medals, and build some stuff. So I have viewed the available loans. It looks like I'll move this up a bit. This startup loan exists, and I can take out. Looks like this is how much they have. Can you still hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So I'm gonna just. I'm gonna, whatever. I know for right now, I'm gonna hard code and say this is the type. So let's take out a loan. Oh, it's already in here, right? Startup. My token set. So let's click send. Sweet. 201. I've taken out this loan. The status is current. Oh my gosh, they are really charging me a lot of interest. Okay, all right, that's fine. We'll make it back. All right, now I have this money, these credits. I'm gonna actually just view my user account again just to make sure that I have it, just see if that pops up. Cool, I have this amount of credits.
Don't blow it.
I'm gonna blow it. I'm
Don't
gonna
mess
get
with
some
the
ships.
Don't
Don't mess
gamble.
with the space. Don't mess with the space mafia.
Exactly. Okay, so this is already in here for me, this MK1. Let's see what this is all about. Ooh, okay. So let's see how much these are. 5 weapons. I like the sound of that. I can afford this for sure.
What do you need weapons for? The plot thickens.
Yeah, there's. I'm gonna go to other planets soon. All right, let's buy. I want to buy this one. No, Speed 2. That one stinks.
I think
Speed 3, this
JW
is the
Banning
one.
has played this before and suggests going to Space
Go
Vegas
Space Vegas.
to make your money.
All right, so I'm gonna purchase a ship. Oh, okay, it already has this one in here for me. I don't know what I need location for, but let's buy it. All right. Ooh, all right, I bought a ship. Made by Jackshaw, 5 weapons, 5 plating. This is nice. Let's see if I can buy a second ship. Oh, all right, cool. I have 2 of these ships.
It looks like you still need to purchase ship fuel. Don't run out of money.
That's true. Yeah, all right. Let's buy, I want to buy 200 ship fuel.
Las Venus. I love that.
Oh boy, something went wrong. It exceeded my ship's loading speed. So that's a helpful message. Let's see if anything was in the console useful. Okay, well, we'll ignore that for now. All right, so let's try to buy the designated amount that it had.
Ignoring errors, just like a dev.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, let's just blow right past that and make the next request. Cool. All right. We seem to have purchased fuel, I think. I'm going to go back. I'm going to close some of these. Let's not save this. I want to see my account again and just see what's going on here. All right, I have 2 ships. Nice. Doesn't say anything about my fuel, but let's see the marketplace.
Sean likes shopping.
Yeah, I want to see what we got out there. All right, construction materials.
Good game.
Thank you, Savannah Whitman. Metals. I am the metal guru, so that is what I want to buy. So, but how do I buy stuff?
Vu, I hope you're paying attention because you're gonna have to do this all in flows.
Oh man.
I'm trying to help you out. I'm going through the hard parts of figuring out how do I get these metals. Anybody see how I can buy stuff?
You need metal?
I don't know. Yeah, it looks like I want to buy this. All this metal's available. All right, let's
Do you need to? Oh,
sell
JW
trade
Banning's,
goods.
yeah.
But I don't have any metals. Let's see what happens if I try to sell it with no metals. Ship does not contain quantity to sell. Okay.
Do you need to go to a planet to get the metals?
Yeah, let's see. Let's find a nearby planet. Okay. OEPM. So I think we're going to try to go here. They have metal ores, which I like. Okay, so let's create a flight plan. Nice. This is already hard-coded in here. Whoever did this is great. I don't have to link any.
That's a really great documentation, if I must say.
Okay. So here is a lot of information. Oh, I already went. I used 1 fuel. I have 19 left.
Uh-oh.
So now I can view the marketplace here. I still want to buy these metals. They're more expensive here. They were 2 before. Sell trade goods. I feel like we're missing a request. I feel like we're missing like a buy goods. I want to see something here. So now I'm going back to the documentation. I'm going to search for buy. Try buying another ship. So I don't want any more ships. I have enough ships.
I was just talking about how good the documentation was.
No, I think you're right. I just am not sure how to buy more stuff.
I think you're right. A request was missed. So go through the getting started guide as it's recommended.
All right, getting started. Okay, get an access token. I did that. View my account. I've done that. View loans. Maybe I'll take out another loan.
You already have money. Don't get overextended.
I purchased the ship. I purchased ship fuel. I viewed the marketplace.
Slow.
Okay. Yeah, this is metals look like. See, this is the key here. How was I ever going to buy these without? Okay. So I need to. This is going to be a new request. And I'm actually going to copy a previous one, and then use this. Purchase goods. And what was it? Just purchase orders. Okay. And then my params I needed were ship ID, metals. Oh, goodness. Oh, I have ship ID already. Okay. I have token. I need to put good and quantity. And this is metals and quantity. Let's go. They had a lot, so let's
1
do
million.
500.
Okay.
I don't have enough money for a million.
All right.
You're the one saying not to extend myself too thin.
Be frugal.
Okay, let's see if this works. Oh, that's past my loading speed of 25. Oh, I have these baby ships. Okay, so let's try 25.
But you have 2 of them.
I do have 2 of them. Good. Oh my gosh, this planet. So the good quantity is not available on this planet. I thought they had 25 metals. So let's see the marketplace again. It says they have 97,000. Let's try fusion reactors and we'll try to buy 1 of them. Or maybe we'll just try to buy 1 metals. All right. I have successfully bought 1 metals.
Yay, metal guru!
Really living up to my name here. JW Banning says, good luck, Vu. I agree.
Oh, man.
Okay, and I think the last thing I'll try to do, I'll try to sell my 1 metal and see what happens. All right. I've got my ship ID. I've got everything. All right. That seems like I made a good deal.
You
right?
did
I think
it.
I bought it. Yeah.
You sold your metal.
Metal Guru does it again.
Claire Pro, we are going through the SpaceTraders API. It's super fun. Okay, and we do have a suggestion. I dropped a link to that in the chat if you want to fork the collection and see if you can't race Vu in the next portion. We only have a few minutes. And JW Banning is saying pay off your loan. So I think, Sean, you know games. In general, like, what are you supposed to do in this? Just tell us what we're supposed to do in this game.
I think the goal is just truly to make as much money or credits as you can. Like flying around to planets, getting good deals on resources, and then like buying them and then flipping them at another planet.
So it's just arbitrage?
Yeah, I think so. Get rich in space.
Okay, so Vu, I'm not sure how far you're going to get, but do you understand the basic premise? I think you've already taken out a loan, but it looks like you need to purchase a ship, purchase ship fuel, fly to a planet, purchase goods, and remember, you're missing that request, so you can either manually create that request, or Sean can share this collection to a public workspace, and you can fork this collection. Lots of ways to skin this cat. Okay, so I'm going to take Sean's screen off. I think we broke Vu. Vu, I'm going to bring your screen on.
I think I have internet issues, so I can't race against Sean.
I'm
Just
frozen, can't talk.
Okay. So back on the collection level, I was at view available loans. And then I'm supposed to take out a loan. Okay. Oops. So I will chain this request. What was it? View
available loans.
Oh, I have that here. So I'll take out a loan. Let me see what the output will be.
So I think, Vu, you might run into the same issue as you did on the last one, where the collection for view or the request for view available loans, I believe, sets a collection variable. Oh, no, it doesn't, but it gives you the information for startup.
Yes.
So you're going to have to, yeah.
Yeah, I got
but then
200K.
Yeah, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, what were you going to say?
No, I just got the request for takeout a loan already has the params in there. So you don't have to like save them as a variable. We don't have to go through that situation again, which is nice.
Okay, nice. Okay, so I would add another block after this. Send request. So it was takeout loan. Now view ships to purchase. And then let's add an output. Terminal view ships to purchase. And send. Oops. Oops. 422. What happened? Oh, view ships to purchase. Okay, 200. Oops. So I had view ships to purchase. Okay. Now let's chain another request. Oh man, I have a lot of chains.
This is cool though. This is, I mean, pretty much what I did, and now it's just in one click. You'll be able to like
Yeah, this is me zooming out.
I like how you can visually see stuff, especially if we get into more complicated automation. You'll be able to see where that nodule goes.
yeah, yeah. This is cool.
Oops, I zoomed in too much.
Oh, this is
Nice.
perfect for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so view ships to purchase, send request, choose collection, purchase a ship, then add terminal output. Purchase ship. Click and start. And wait for the animation, all the tentacles, giant octopus chain, and then purchase ship. Let me zoom back in. Okay, 201, yes.
Nice. Okay, Vu, while you're doing work, let me answer this question. Deva Sundaram says, how is the APIs section different from the collections? So the APIs section is for your specifications, like Open API, and then the collections, sometimes people generate collections from the API specification, and collections are executable, right? You can run them in your request builder, you can run them in collection runner, and now you can run them in flows. Can we create flows from OpenAPI spec? At this point in time, you would have to generate a collection from the spec, because right now when you send request, you are selecting from the available collections in this workspace. Oh no, you scared Sean.
Uh-oh. Am I winning too
back.
much?
You're going too fast, making me look bad.
Okay, so the last call was a purchase a ship, and I had status code 201. So let's add another tentacle or block. So send request, select collection, purchase a ship, purchase ship fuel, and add terminal. Purchase ship fuel. And click and start. And zooming out, all the tentacle action. Something's happening. Select purchase ship fuel. Zoom in. Oops. 422. What does that mean? The payload was invalid. Check the error details to correct your payload. Ooh, okay.
So this might be the issue I ran into, where I tried to buy more fuel than my ship allowed, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it. So I should go back to the request level, right? Oh, sorry, the collection level. Purchase ship fuel. And Sean, can you help me cheat here? What happened exactly? Purchase ship fuel.
So I think unprocessable entity. I thought that maybe you tried to buy more fuel than your ship allowed, but it looks like 20 is fine. So I'm
Should I
not
just do
sure
5?
why. Yeah, try that.
Okay. And going back to flows. And then start.
Is
Again, 422, it refreshed.
so the payload was invalid.
Oh, the ship ID
push.
wasn't there.
Okay.
So it looks like I don't have a ship ID. So I think what I need to do is also assign a variable for the ship ID earlier.
Oh yeah,
when-
because in the test script for the request, it's doing the same thing we ran into before, where it's setting it as a collection variable. And so I think if we just change that to environment.
Click. Okay. I'll just cheat and send it here. Oh no, I can't because I don't have the variables updated. But let me go back to flows because I saved it. Oh, I saved it. And then now let me clear this one more time. Oh, because I didn't assign the ship ID in one of these blocks.
Yeah.
So purchase a ship. So it should be here. So I think I skipped a step here where I should have how do I remove this? Let me zoom out 1 second. Oh, too much. Okay.
It really is feast or famine with the zooming.
Yeah. So assign variable. So create variable ship ID, and then ship ID. Oh, I didn't click enter. Wait. Okay, I'll X this out, and then I think I have to add these chains out. Oh yes, delete chain, and I'll move these here. Okay, and I'll connect these dots. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, I hit start. It's
coming.
Yes, it worked.
Yay!
Okay,
Woo!
so just to quickly recap, what happened was I didn't assign the ship ID variable. So, oh, it didn't even show up in the environment. I didn't assign the ship ID, so it didn't recognize it because when you look at the request, it required a ship ID value, and my flows didn't have it. So I added that assigned variable here as a ship ID to add that string. And now it showed. Okay.
Hector, thanks for stopping by. We do have this recording on YouTube, so at the same link that you are on, that Hector is coming in from, you can watch this after the fact. So that's really interesting. So a couple things to note: if you plan on forking that same public collection, right now we use collection variables, right, in the public collection. So if you want to make a flow from it, you probably want to replace setting a collection variable with setting an environment variable. And then in your flows, what was that block you used, Vu, to set the variable?
I did assign variable. And make sure to add it after the request so that the nested options show up, or else it won't show up right away.
So the block only allows you to assign from available variables. Otherwise, you need to create a new variable. So run the block, and once you have access to that response, then you create a variable, and then you can use those variables in your subsequent request. And that's how your tentacles are structured, correct?
Yeah, so notice how when I deleted it, when I did correct variables, nothing pops up under the path. But once I connected the tentacles, okay, I created variables, did create variables, and now the options show up.
And Sean, we have another one for Team Vu.
Yes, yeah, Team Hector.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that I'll note that I thought was kind of interesting with Vu's work is that every single request he added a terminal, and I think it's probably a best practice to create separate terminals. So see how he's toggling between different, very well named, might I add, terminals. You can shove them all into a single terminal, but it'll be a little bit hard to see just the way this UI is formatted. So creating a little terminal or output at each request that you send allows you to have a little bit more visibility into what came back. And so if, for example, you get all the way to the end and you get unprocessable entity, you're like, where did that fail? You can check into each, you can work back into each terminal. That's rather nice. Vu, in our last few minutes, do you mind zooming out again? Feast or famine?
Yes.
Yeah, do you have anything? So we kind of like teed this up as a competition, but really it was, us seeing something that's a little bit more familiar, Sean's workflow with something that I shouldn't use the word flow, with, just working in the request builder and then chaining requests with flows. Any reflections from either of you about the differences here? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
I'm a
Yeah.
very visual person, so seeing these requests laid out like this is really neat, and I think like really helpful to kind of see the holistic process and the journey of the requests and like seeing things being chained together. And I imagine once you add in some like conditional logic to do stuff and like looping to certain parts, you can really kind of get a good visual of like the automation that's happening. So I'm excited to mess around with flows. Now that I've seen this, it looks really cool. And it's come a long way in a short amount of time from when I played with it recently.
Yeah, I love the option of having the visualization of it. So just making sense of these chain requests. I love how I can add tentacles or chains to it. It looks pretty cool now when I zoom out. It can get pretty crazy. I've even seen examples where folks added, let's say, another chain all the way here. So you can just keep connecting. Oh, I think I have to add it to the front. Okay, I'm failing with my connecting my tentacles.
Yeah, so Sean's workspace was giving me tab anxiety.
Oh.
He had all these tabs just littered across his workspace. And now, Vu, you're giving me tentacle anxiety. I call them noodles, you call them tentacles. I'm going to take your desktop off our screen and then bring chat back on. And Devasundaram has a question already. Is there any performance benchmarks on how big we can make the flows? Like, oops, did we lose Sean? Sean got scared. He knew I was going to make him go. He knew I was going to make him go through flows. I don't actually know. So interestingly, as we mentioned at the very beginning, this is in beta. You can provide your feedback to the engineers. If you're trying to accomplish something and you're not able to do it, make sure you chime in on that feedback button. Something that is interesting that Vu pointed out, there's no documentation. Oh, welcome back, Sean. Don't be afraid. We won't make you do anything. Vu, there is no documentation, but a lot of people in the Postman community have played around with it and built some interesting things. I think people organically found that button. We haven't even done a big announcement about flows yet. So this is kind of a sneak peek, and any input that you have into the product is actively going into the development and design of it.
Yeah.
All right.
Really exciting.
So excellent job, both of you. You exceeded my expectations because I lowered my expectations initially. In the last minute, we have a section where we like to give shout outs. Before we get to you, I'm going to ask you both if you have community shout outs. I will give a shout out or heads up. Next week, Sean is going to be back and streaming with Nihilus. So same time, but we have a partner, Nihilus, from our API network. So I'm interested to see what Sean's going to work on. Any shout outs? Vu, do you want to go first?
This is why I thank my mom and all that.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
Thanks for everyone else inside the chat. Super helpful, a lot of tips. Thank you to JW Banning and folks and everyone else. Thanks, Joyce and Sean. And I'll collect my space cash from the Mafia now, Sean.
Sean, any shout outs?
Yeah, I'll shout out. I don't know exactly who the team was behind the SpaceTraders API, but I'll give them a shout out if they ever come across this. Like, I love playing games. I love free games, and it seems like a really cool way to explore APIs and test them and have a little bit of fun. So, shout out to the team that made that. I think that was a really cool, fun API.
I think that was really fun. And if you want to try it out in Postman or other clients or other build your own front end, I think it's a super fun educational tool. And JW Banning has the last shout out of the season. I don't even think we announced this because I forgot to pull up your live play. Sean, do you want to tell us what Pony is?
Sure. So Pony is an acronym for Pride of New York, and it is an ultimate frisbee team that I play for, based out of New York. We recently competed in the national championship tournament, where we came in second. We lost a heartbreaker in the championship final, but a few Postman folks watched and cheered and was really supportive. And so I'll actually shout out the folks from Postman that cheered and rooted me on and wished me well while I was not working and doing fun stuff like playing frisbee.
I feel like the entire company was watching. It was on ESPN Ocho. It was like televised nationally. It was very exciting. If anybody wants to find a clip of Sean scoring a goal, I'm pretty sure, is it called goal in frisbee?
Yeah. You got it. You know that.
Scoring a goal. I think that's super rad. And everyone was really proud of you for the pony.
Thank you.
Okay, and with that, we will see you next week. Thank you so much for joining. Vu, thank you so much for being on the hot seat. Sean, also, thank you for helping explain the rules, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.